You've got an interview soon for the role of a Scrum Master, but not quite sure how to handle that. Well, this video is for you. We have a lot to cover today. I want to keep this video as short as possible while providing the maximum amount of value. Let's not waste any time. Let's dive in. First, let's start with preparation. As John Wooden said, failing to prepare is preparing to fail. I don't care how good you are during the actual interview. Whether you'll get the job or not will depend on how prepared you are. So tip number 1, research the company. Spend a few hours to gather all the information that you can find on the actual company, their website, social media posts, recent press releases, everything that you can find on the internet, which is quite recent. What you're looking for here is information on the goals of a company, why they do what they do, and you can then try to link that with your background, with your personality, with what you've achieved and where you want to go. Do you know people in your network that currently work there or worked there in the past? Can you talk to these people? Can you connect to these people? Most interviewees spend a few minutes looking at the website of a company, the social media post, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter of the company. That's not enough. You need to deep dive in the company, especially for negative things, negative press releases, negative comments on social media. Remember, your goal here is to provide solutions. So you need to know what's wrong so that you can provide solutions. At the end of the day, you'll need to tell them why you want to work there and what you can do for them, especially for this agile way of working. When did they start implementing agile? How well is it going? How many Scrum teams do they have? Do they use other agile frameworks? Do they use Kanban? How many agile coaches? How many Scrum Masters can you connect to these people? If you already have the names of the interviewers or hiring manager, look them up on LinkedIn. Look at their background. Agile coach, Scrum Master, project manager, or nothing to do with agile or project management. It makes a huge difference if you're gonna do the interview with someone who's not technical, who doesn't even know what a Scrum Master does. So you need to prepare for that. And talking about preparation, tip number 2, practice your answers to common interview questions. I see so many people going into the Scrum Master interview, preparing all the answers for the agile stuff, the Scrum stuff, but ignoring the common interview questions. And this is where they get stuck. This is why they don't get the job. Don't underestimate these questions, especially for opening. You know what's the most popular opening question in an interview? Well, it's tell me about yourself and why you want to work for this company. If you've not prepared an answer, because it's an opening question, you might get stuck. And if you don't start well, there's a high chance that the interview will not go as expected. This question is simple to answer. They want to know what you value and what you can bring to the company. But in 30 seconds, elevator pitch, quick, 30 seconds. Tip number 3, tell stories. Stories are extremely underrated, especially during an interview. You can tell someone that you are the best Scrum Master in the world. They might not believe you. They might not agree with this statement, and that's fine. But if you tell them a story where you are showing in the story that you are the best Scrum Master in the world, why you are the best Scrum Master in the world, and other people at the end of the story are telling you that you are the best Scrum Master in the world, the interviewer can't disagree with his story. It's a story. You cannot just say the story is fake. And because of this, the interviewer will be more convinced that if you told them that you are the best Scrum Master in the world. Story is extremely powerful. I like using the STAR method. I like telling stories with a clear situation, task, action, and result. STAR method. First, situation. Lay out the context. Lay out the situation. We need to be on the same page as the interviewer. We need to understand the context to understand really why you did what you did. So if the interviewer asks you, how can you support the team to make them more self-managed? First, define self-management. Define self-management first so that we are on the same page, and then tell them a story where you help the team to be more self-managed or self-organized. And you do this by talking about the task, your role in the situation, the action, what did you do and why did you do it? And you end it by talking about the result, the actual outcome, and what you've learned from this situation. Again, preparation is key. You need to go through all the common interview questions and prepare answers. Practice your answers with someone, with your spouse, your friends. I don't really care. You need to practice answers over and over again. All the stories. Don't underestimate the power of preparation. And not just common questions, but also agile related questions. If you want more details on how to prepare for all that, watch this video. Tip number 4, prepare your questions. The interview shouldn't be an interrogation. No, simply A conversation, yeah. Treat the interview as a conversation. And in any conversation, you need to be also asking questions. You can go search over common questions that you can ask the hiring manager or during an interview. We won't spend time on that. I don't like this strategy. You can use it, but I don't like this strategy. What I like using is Agile related stuff. I want to know, when did they start their Agile implementation? How many Scrum Masters? How many Scrum teams are they using Kanban? What are their successes? What are their failures? And what are their pain points? Things that are currently not working. This is where I want to go in this interview. If I can get them to share their pain points, and I can provide solutions in an interview. During this interview itself, I've already won. And you provide solutions by simply telling them stories using the STAR method. Another company, another team, same scenario, and you were able to find a solution together to fix their problem, the same problem that they have. If you start your interview with these pain points, you get the pain points from them, and you reframe the interview into showing them exactly what they need to do to fix that. You are already providing value in the interview itself. You haven't got the job yet. You're already providing value. This will greatly increase the chance that you get hired for the job. Tip number 5, we are on the same side. Many interviewers view job interviews as a sort of war. Candidates are going to try to grab an offer out of the interviewer. The interviewer's job is to hold onto it. Your job is to transform this sort of tug of war into a relationship in which you're both on the same side. You could say something as simple as, I'm happy to have the chance to learn more about your company and to let you learn more about me, so we can see if this is going to be a good match or not for both of us. I always think that the worst thing that can happen is to be hired into a job that's wrong for you. Nobody's happy if that happens. You see what I did there? We are in this together. We both want to make sure that it's a good match. And remember, you are not only selling them, but they are also selling you the company. When you go into this interview with that mindset that you are selling, but they're also selling you. You are the prize. You are the best Scrum Master. So you go into the interview with this mindset. If you did all the things that we talked about in this video, by the end of the interview, the hiring manager should be pretty excited. Excited because you are the best fit for the job. Let me ask you a simple question. Let's say a salesman tells you a pitch, wants to sell you a product. It's the best pitch ever. You want to buy right now, but the salesman, after telling you the pitch, just walks away. Doesn't give you the opportunity to buy. That's wrong. You need to be closed. The salesman should tell you buy right now. And the same thing applies for the interview. You need to close the hiring manager. Tell them that you were excited when going into this interview. And by learning all the things about the company and the way the interview went, you are even more excited because you feel that you are the right fit for the job and for the company. And you want to know when you can start. Which brings me to my next point. If you want more tips, insights on Agile, Scrum, personal growth, click on the video that stands out the most on the screen right now, and I'll see you in a few seconds.